Okay, we're live. It's James speaking. Got a question for you. Do you want to be able to teach online or do you want to learn how to be a videographer? Kind of a simple question, right? But it's one that you have to answer if you're creating online courses and you're starting, building, and growing an education business. You need to create great content for the people that you're trying to teach. So, which one is it? Do you want to spend time learning one or the other, or do you need to learn both? Well, today, what I want to do is I want to go through the four big problems with the way video editing is set up today when it comes to educational content, whether it be for YouTube or your online learning campus. I want to go over something called the zero edit approach. And I also want to look at why it works and some practical steps that you can use or apply moving forward if you're creating online courses and educational videos. So, right now, if you decide that you want to be a videographer because you are creating online courses and online course material, if you want to learn how to do that, you have to, first of all, either buy or find software that you're comfortable with. Then you have to learn how to use it, or you have to find someone to do the editing for you, be able to pay them, be happy with the work that they do, and wait for the time that it takes them to change what you filmed and put it into some particular format. And this doesn't matter if it's a YouTube video or you're creating an online course or a promotional material, anything where you're in front of the camera, you're creating content. So the argument has always been you need to have something polished, right? You need to have a video that is all fancy. And if you go and watch or look at YouTube, for example, if I bring up one of the screens and we were to go take a look at some of the YouTube videos that are there, and we went through some of them just for fun and took a look at them, I would bet you that the majority of these videos all have some kind of fancy edits in them about transitions, sounds, B rolls, all of this additional piece that's put back into them. So we're conditioned that way that we think the videos have to be like that. But if it's educational material, does it really need to be like that? I don't think so. I remember if I look back and I get together with my friends from school, whether it be high school or university, and we get to chatting and joking around about all the stuff that happened when we were young, the thing that always comes up for me is if we're talking about teachers or things that we remember about stuff that we learned, it wasn't about the teacher that has a professionally put together and edited presentation. It was about what they were teaching, how they teach it, and the excitement and passion that they had for it. And these are always the teachers that we remember and the content that sticks with us because of those two pieces that they put together, not necessarily how it was produced when they were delivering it. So I think there's two spaces for this. So one, of course, is this for education or is this something is for entertainment where someone has to keep my focus because I'm not intentionally trying to get information or remember information from it. So those are the two kinds. Some of them there's a balance. I'm not saying it has to be one or the other. I think you can actually use both of them, and I'm going to show you how to do that. But that argument is one that we've kind of been conditioned because of YouTube. These are the things that, the way that it has to be done. So depending on who you're creating educational content for, that can set the expectation and the personal skills that you need as someone who's teaching to be able to deliver the content. If you're in a business to consumer or business to individual kind of situation where you're teaching that stuff, that level of polish is not the same as if you are a large corporation teaching your suppliers or your internal employees, where there's a level or expectation of the way that those videos are polished. So the question is it production value or is it teaching value? And the thing that's cool is that zero edit videoing is what I think is the future, and it's what I've been doing now for the past year and a half or 2 years. I think this is the real way that we should look at if we want to focus on teaching content as opposed to putting together fancy content. So production value teaching, I'm picking teaching, and zero editing videos is the thing that fixes that. So what are the four big problems when we look at the traditional way of doing things? Well, the first thing is a time investment. As much as the content comes out now that we put together, you got to do things quickly. I remember the first time we created courses, or I created courses. If you got 2 or 3 courses in a year, it's like, man, you were awesome. You were pumping them out. You can see people now that are doing a course a week. The course may only have 4 or 5 lessons, but still, they're pumping it out. They're breaking it into small pieces. They're having checking or mini or micro courses. They're creating all of this content that are answering specific questions, not big, long programs. So people are building out content quickly. And if you're focusing on production value, it's a serious investment in time to be able to, pump out that amount of content that's needed today. It's a financial investment too. If you're hiring someone out to do that, you got to pay for it. If you're doing it yourself, you have to purchase software and or additional pieces or tools to be able to do it the way that you want. It's also, you run into this trap of the over polished trap. I always say there's 3 kinds of courses. There's the one you planned, the one you did, and the one you should have done. When you're editing your own videos and your own course content, there's always the vision that you have of what you think you want it to be, how it turns out, and what you should have done. When That's a huge trap, and everyone falls into it. You fall into it when you create content, when you create courses, but you can fall into it as well when you're creating the actual videos or doing the edits for the videos. And then the other thing is the technical trap. I don't know about you, but some of the software for creating videos and edits, first of all, I'm not George Lucas. I can't do all sorts of fancy stuff. I'm not an editor by any means of the modem or the viewing or visual modality. I don't see stuff the way editors do, and it's technically hard. Do I do a transition? How should the transition work? Do I do some B-roll or another image that doesn't necessarily have me in it, and how does it fit in? Or how do I do text bubbles or things like that? There's a lot to learn. So you've got these huge problems producing it yourself and or hiring out, and it's based on the expectations that you have of all of the material that you want to teach based on how the production value is, not the content that you're trying to get across. So I think I'm a big fan of the zero edit approach. What's the zero edit approach? Well, the difference between uh, a edited or a video that's been edited the traditional way and a zero edit approach is an amount of the time in post production. So it's one thing to capture your video, it's another thing that you do the edits after it's captioned. So that's post production edits or time in post production. When you do a zero edit video, as soon as you're finished the video, it is ready to go. There is no post production time. So a zero edit gets rid of that, but it is still somewhat polished. It's professional enough that you can use it to teach your content in the way that you want, and more importantly, have your own personality and your own teaching style built into that particular piece. And this does one thing or 2 things that are really, really important. The first one is the amount of content that you can create in a period of time is dramatically bigger than if you were limited to the traditional video editing approach. And the other thing is that relevancy and your ability to be authentic on camera is the part that people remember when you are trying to teach them something. If I go back and look at the videos that I saw over this morning, because I watch videos every morning for about 35 minutes just to see what's going on. But if you ask me about the things that I remember, it is not that there was 7 transitions or a transition every 7 seconds to keep my attention, that there was fly-ins and transitions and stuff and sound effects. I don't remember any of that, but there are ideas that I remember because I learned something. So it's not about the production, it's about the content and the way that the person who was sharing it delivered it. And that's why when I go back to look at YouTube videos, as an example, I subscribe to someone's channel because I'm comfortable with the way that they actually present it, not on how they produced it and they did all of that particular editing. Now, here's the most important part to at least looking at zero edit videos. There is a connection now between AI and AI agents and zero edit videos. In the past, we had to manually go and do all of this video production. The thing that's happening now, and I've showed this in a couple other videos, is there AI and AI tools and soon agents that will be able to do additional work on your zero edits or raw video, and it will be able to do it automatically without us. So one that I showed yesterday was the ability of an AI agent, a ChatGPT task. It could automatically pick up a YouTube video and create all of the summary documents, course materials, handouts, quizzes, talking points, all based on an agent running on a regular basis looking for brand new videos. That video did not go to any post-production. It is a video there, but all of my additional material over and above the actual video file was created for me. Real-time enhancements. If I update a particular video or I add a new lesson on it, that particular course materials and everything that was done to that particular video the first time can be done and improved on. So the AI agents are going to be able to know how much of the video was watched, what are the pieces that were done over again, where are the pieces that were stopped, and it'll be able to make relevant or appropriate edits and changes to the video in the second go around. Those are real-time edits. You have to remember that when, and again, I showed this as well, there's one, the Google Docs vids, you can actually give it documentation, will create video and edit the video for you. So if I'm worrying about post-production stuff and there's already tools, the experimental ones in the lab, and I'll put the links to the videos below, it's already creating videos from stuff that we gave it that are raw. So why would I send it away to get edited when there's already tools that are starting to do the videos and do a pretty good job of what I wanted to do just based on the raw material that I used? And all of this delivery that gets created, it requires no manual work on my part. So it's going to be to the point where AI stuff is going to be able to do the video editing in a manner that's comfortable and produced enough for us based on our expectations of where we are, what market we are, and what we're trying to teach. And we're not going to have to be involved in it. So this is going to save a huge amount. So in the future, what we're going to have is we're going to have all of these agents or tools like the Google Vids and the experimental one that I think most people have in Docs. If you just put a /vids, you'll see that it's there. The Google Gemini Video FX tool that will create videos from text. Also, any of the additional agents that are coming out over the next couple months. And the one that I did yesterday, and I'll put the link before, was just on the tasks. It's create all these materials. I created 5 ChatGPT tasks that did all of this, and it does it automatically just because I made a raw video available. So 3 things you're going to have with zero edit videos. You're going to have completely authentic because it's you doing the teaching. You're going to be able to do these quickly as fast as you want based on the content that's in your head and the stuff that you want or need to teach people. And it's super efficient. So that's what's happening if you take the approach of zero edits. So you have to ask yourself, I saw a quote from Wayne Gretzky. So I'm in Canada. It's the winter. I got a little bit of a heavy sweater on. But Wayne Gretzky, of course, the greatest hockey player in the world, he always said, skate to where the puck is going, not where it's been. So you have to ask yourself, over this next year, do I want to try and do fancy edits because it's always been done in the past? Or do I want to place myself in the future where things are going with all of the AI agents, tools, and all of this stuff that's happening that allows us to not need any of the video production that maybe we were taught in the past? And is post-production worth it? Is it going to help you sell more courses? Is it going to help you teach better? Is it going to help you get more traffic on YouTube if you're building out your personal branded campus? These are all questions you have to ask. And at the end of the day, I think that definitely it is not worth video post-production. And if you want to find out how to create zero edit videos, just like this one that I'm playing around with right now, that's in the next video that I'll go through and show you exactly how we do that. So this is James speaking, trainingsites.ai. I hope you enjoyed this. I want you just to think, where do I want to fall in this and how can I apply it to my education business? So like and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't already joined trainingsites.io/join, it's free to be in part of the community. I got all of this stuff in there for you. You can ask questions, and I'm here to help you start, build, and grow your education business. Take care and expect the best.